Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Out of the Park Baseball 22 here on GM Games. My name is Aaron, and we are jumping in to the rest of the postseason, and we will likely get through the first month of the season. It's probably going to be a relatively short video, but yeah, we're gonna get going, and then I'm gonna try to do another video at the end of the week to post up on Sunday in lieu of my live stream, which I won't be doing this week. So, if you remember correctly, the big off-season decision was to allow the two-time National League Most Valuable Player and three-time MVP Sam Wozniak to walk. Excuse me. He signed a 6-year, $185 million contract with the Toronto Blue Jays. Just a contract we could have afforded it, but it would have hamstrung us. And my thought process was that he's already 32, so he'll be 32 when the season starts. He's not a very good defensive player, so somewhere where he can play designated hitter would make more sense. And yeah, so good luck north of the border. And for us, we're gonna have a new look team next year. Danny Fisher is gonna come in and do his best to replace Wozniak. Federico Ramirez is gonna get the reins at second base. We tried to move Drew Romo. Nobody was interested, but we were only locked into him for another year. Next year is gonna be really interesting. Brubaker's contract is up. Drew Romo's up. Drew Jones is up. Ben Guess is up. These are all players that we may look to deal. Jim Denny wants almost $18 million in arbitration, so we're going to have some decisions to make as we get through the next 12 months. So at this point, there's not much left to do because I'm not really looking to sign any more free agents. I'm just going to sim ahead to opening day. And, if anything happens, obviously, we'll come back and we'll go over it. But the plan is just to sim up to opening day and see how this year starts. This is probably going to be a down year, which, after coming off of our second World Series title in a decade, hopefully the fans understand. So that's basically what we're going to do here, and I'll be back at opening day. Hey guys, we are back, and as you can see, it was a brutal spring training for injuries for the Colorado Rockies. In addition to still being without Sademon Parker for the next 4 months. We lost Kevin Norman for the year. Our, third-year pitcher now is going to be out for the season with a torn UCL. We lost Carter Smith for the year with a torn UCL, and Aaron Perry's out for 3 weeks. So that was just a terrible spring training. Some good news, 2 bits of good news, and the first one I already deleted, so you can't see it. But a rule change gives us an additional year of control over all of our players. So, what does that mean? That means Ben Guess is no longer a free agent after this season. That means we have Jim Denny locked up for the next 2 years at a minimum. And we don't have to worry about losing those players after this year. And we did, the other bit of good news, we did sign Andrew Jones to a longish-term contract. It's a 5-year contract with $105 million, $21 million a year, 3 years, first 3 years of 21, then a player opt-out, then 2 player options. I'm okay with this. We have the money to spend, so to get ourselves a pretty elite defensive outfielder who has shown that the bat is there as well. Last 2 years, he's been really, really good. I think that money is worth it for a 27-year-old outfielder. And that's it in terms of between when we last talked and now. So now it's just a matter of setting what's left of our pitching staff, I guess. So we've got 16, 15 if you count Lido, 14 if you count Fisher. So we only need to send 1 pitcher down to the minors here. Who had the worst? Thomas White. We will send him down. The player refuses to be demoted. Ooh, I got to get rid of him. Somebody has to want him because I don't want to just eat the contract. So somebody has to want him. Nope, nobody wants him. There's got to be somebody. I just have batters. There's got to be a pitcher who is making a minimum deal. Because otherwise I'm just going to have to shoot. All right, well, he refuses to be demoted. So let's designate. Not that anybody's going to take him, but... All right. So now we have to set our pitching staff. Again, what's left of it? That's not the pitching staff. This is the pitching staff. All right. So we are going to go Giolito, Brubaker, Denny, Guess, and Newton, I suppose. That will be our rotation. Still a pretty solid rotation, 1 through 4. Newton is hit or miss, but with the control, I think he'll be okay. So I think we give Richardson a shot as the closer out of spring training. Yeah, see, Satterfield's not ready, but well, let's give him a shot. I mean, this is the year to do it. You know, we've suffered some injuries. We're gonna be down a few players, so let's just go with it and see what happens. I want Fisher in here as an unspecified because I don't want him pitching very often because he's not really a pitcher. He's got 10 movement. Lido, his movement's down to 26. Yeah, I'd rather have him as an unspecified too and have him as long relief. Wynn, Miles, Satterfield, Haas is our middle relief. Cordereal, Setup, and Richardson is our closer. Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah. I have a feeling it's going to be a tough year for us. So we have to send some players down still. We're at 33, so I think we have to send, 6 players down. So Mathis, Hennon, Newman, all can go down to AAA. Casher's out for a week, so we'll just leave him. Bobby Strong. I think we move on from Carter Young. Let's see what we can get if we do that and Ike Acker. Or do we just give... I think we're just going to give Josh a shot this year. He's 26, he's 23, he's got 80 home run potential. He's got 56, but 82 contacts, 70 gap and power. I think it's time to give Ike Acker a shot. And Waylon Gabbard... Let's see what sorts of deals are available here. And if nothing, we'll just, maybe we send Waylon Gabbard back and we DFA Carter Young. Well, that's not encouraging. Tommy Walker's not bad. Ground ball pitcher. Good fastball. I mean, he's 25. I mean, if he was like 22 and in AA, that would be much better. We can pick up Danny Cordero, the number 32 prospect in baseball, from the White Sox. And that might not be a bad option. Get a high ceiling type player. I mean, that contact is going to hold him back, but 24-year-old closer. And he's a bat, too. I like Reese. Is it Reese? I'm assuming it's Race. Race or Reese Peoples. That's probably the best option right now. Because we are going to need pitching. We are going to need pitching this year. That's for darn sure. Ben Trevino, no. Yeah, we don't really need any positional players. I like Jeff Bregman, too. Ground ball pitcher with 3 good pitches. We may come back to Bregman, actually. I think for starters, let's go to Detroit. And find Peoples. Well, what can we add to this that isn't... Because I'd like to see if I can use... I'd like to use Gabbard in a... No, you know what? Screw it. You want Gabbard, you can have Gabbard. And we'll see if there's something we can get in return. and Smoker. Rodriguez. Well, he's not really a center fielder. What about Rodriguez? Really good glove, good speed. He's only 20 years old. I hate to give up on players like that. But he's 21 and in rookie ball. Meh. I mean, he's not bad. Don't get me wrong, but I might just pull the trigger on this. I think I'm going to. Because he can play multiple positions on the infield, and he appears to be a pretty good pitcher. And that will allow... Actually, that makes sense, because I can put Peoples on the roster, and that will allow me to send Satterfield back down to AAA and get him some additional time, because he's not ready yet. He hasn't pitched above AA. I want him to get some time in AAA, and frankly, he could be a starter. So we're going to do that. Okay, so where does that leave us? That leaves us at 27, which I think is okay. So let's take a look at the lineups. Batting ratings. Clear the lineups. All right, so new look lineup for us has Luke Lito batting leadoff. That doesn't change. Who's our number 2 hitter? Our number 2 hitter is Federico Ramirez with that contact and eye. Our number 3 hitter will be Chris Beat. Our number 4 hitter will be Drew Jones. Our number 5 hitter will be Danny Fisher at first base. Our number 6 hitter will be Sal Stewart at third. Our number 7 hitter will be Willie Castro at short, and our number 8 hitter will be Drew Romo behind the plate. Let's see what that does. So we get Acosta in there. Actually, let's get Acosta in there a little bit more there. And how's his bat against righties? I mean, he's fine. I mean, his bat's fine. He's not going to be great, but we can get him in there once a week at first base. A lot of outfielders, but that's fine because Lynn is actually, you know what? Lynn is actually, shoot. I made the mistake of, I wanted to play Jackson Lynn at first base, but that didn't work. So that's fine. Lynn will get his appearances kind of like this. We'll do that. We'll do every 10th game, and then we'll also put him in here like that. 20th game or something like that. So that gets him at least a little bit of playing time. Copy the lineup there. Let's come over here and paste. Now here's the thing. Fisher absolutely cannot hit left-handers. So immediately he comes out of the lineup. And this is where I wanted Jackson Lynn. So, dummy me didn't get him any playing time at first base. So he's going to get thrown in there against lefties at the beginning of the season, and it just is what it is. And I think that's it. I mean, Gucher's a pretty good second baseman, but I think, can he play short? I mean, he can with that range, so I think Gucher plays against lefties because Willie Castro against lefties is not good at all. So we're going to get Gucher in there at shortstop. We should have Acosta as our backup shortstop, and Willie Castro's just not going to play against lefties. So he may not like it, but, what are you going to do at this point? Yeah, so I think that's going to be our Stewart will move up in the lineup. Lynn will bat there. Yeah, I think Lynn could be a pretty good opposite side platoon tandem with Danny Fisher. So we'll see how that works. And Romo, he also can't hit lefties. Siegler's a better hitter against lefties, so Anthony Siegler is going to get the start against lefties. And this could be it for Drew Romo. Or not could be. This will be it for Drew Romo, which is a bit of a surprise, but here we are. Gucher at short. So I don't think it's a terrible lineup. I think it's pretty deep. I don't know that we're going to have any studs in here, but I think it's a pretty okay lineup. So now if we go to right-handers, let's paste that lineup there. Let's paste the lineup. Oh, come on. Copy. Paste. So who's going to play? Ike Acker is going to be our designated hitter against righties. We move him up. He's got a pretty good stick against right-handed hitters. No, I don't want Fisher. Actually, that might work. No, I don't. I want to get Ike Acker some playing time. And then come here and we copy that lineup and we paste this lineup. And we put Estrada out there as the designated hitter. Move him up. Generate the depth charts. I don't want Gucher playing every second game. Lynn's playing first base, so he doesn't need to do that. All right. So there are our lineups. I think it's going to be an okay lineup. You know, obviously, I think we're going to take a step backwards without having Mr. Wozniak in there. But I think we can be okay. Are we going to win 100 games? I doubt it. But, you know, we could be all right. So any noticeable improvements? Denny continues to get better. Brubaker, he may end up, depending on how this season goes, I mean, we may try to sign him. Yeah, he doesn't want a long-term deal, and I mean, if we can get him for like, 4 years at $20 million or something, I might do that. But if the season just goes in the tank, he could become a trade piece, as well as Guess. Guess is another one. Gucher got a lot better. It's nice to see. B got worse, Jones got worse, Estrada got worse, and I'm not putting a whole lot of I'm not reading a whole lot into the spring training increases and decreases because they happen all the time. So let's come here and let's do our thing. Ooh, look at that! Alex Bregman is still available as a free agent. Ooh, Danny Manriquez. He wants $16 million, but he's and he's a good bat. I'm not paying him $16 million. I don't need to spend him I don't want to spend $16 million at the moment. So let's go through and let's offer let's offer a fair number of these players who aren't asking for money. Let's offer them contracts. Try to bring them in and get some talent in our AAA system in case of injury. Contract. Let's look at pitchers. So these players are out for the year, so I have no interest in signing them. Just sign the ones that are showing up not requesting any money. Offer those contracts. That's a pretty good first baseman. I don't need him, but he's a pretty good first baseman. So there's most of the negotiations. Don't need to look at those. We're starting off the season against Arizona. See what the preseason predictions say for us. My guess is they're going to have us taking a step back. I mean, I would assume. So let's do that. Anybody we need to move up? So, yes, Andy Powers needs to go up to AA. Kyle Williams, we can call him up. His control isn't good enough, but we can call him up. Callahan put up good numbers in A-ball, so we will call him up to high A-ball this year. Escueda. Oh, wow. He mashed. So let's call him up. We're going to call him to high A-ball. McElfresh was our number 1 pick, right? Yeah, he's not ready. Bert Aguirre, he's down to 2 stars, so we can enable. Anybody else we need to move around? I don't think so. Yeah, Israel Real needs to be treated with kid hands here and sent Bobby Strong all the way down to high A ball. He ain't gonna like that, but that's fine. All right, so let's look at preseason predictions. Has us winning 99 games. I mean, okay. I don't see it, but I'm certainly not gonna argue with it. And obviously we'll keep an eye on Wozniak. Let's put him on short list just to keep an eye on him. All right, so top 100 prospects. We don't have anybody. Our prospect pool is not very good these days. We're 20th right now. We got Moncada, Real, and Gucher. Moncada doesn't look bad. He's still got a ways to go, but he doesn't look bad. All right, well, let's start playing some baseball, and let's see how this goes. How long have I been recording for? I don't know, only about 20 minutes, so we're good. All right, team schedule. Let's get through what's going on. Oh, I have Peoples, who I got to put on the 40-man. All right, now let's see how it goes. I'm over the limit. I got to send another player down. I got to send a pitcher down. I thought I had 27-man rosters for some reason. Well, it's not. I mean, everybody likes him, though. Haas was really bad. Oh, actually, Haas wasn't bad last year. Miles wasn't very good last year, and he didn't pitch particularly well in AAA, so we're going to put him on waivers. Speaking of waivers, let's look at that before I start simming. A lot of 3-star pitchers. Anybody that I would be interested in? Sam Bellows, pretty damn good. But if I took him, who would I replace him with? Any offensive players I want to look at? I don't think so, unless there's somebody really young in here. Yeah, they're all old. Drew Burris, good defensive player. Jack Conley, no. So if we took Bello, who would he replace? 67, 79, 74. Who would he replace? Cole Winn? I think. I mean, really, he would. Yeah, I think it would be Win. So let's go ahead and put in a claim on Bello. And if we get him, we will slap him on the roster. If not, then we don't. All right, so let's get to the schedule now. All right, so let's get going. Long delays as it loads the different leagues. And we went opening day 10-5, so the offense, good start. 2 hits, 2 runs scored for Ramirez, 4 for 5 for B. No home runs, but 3 RBIs from Acosta, 2 for Stewart, 2 for Jones. Pretty good performance up and down, very good performance up and down the lineup. Giolito picks up the win despite giving up 5 runs. All right, win's a win. So we went on opening day 10-5. Lose 7-2, so Peoples gets hurt, and he's only out for a day. So we did get Bello, so let's go into the pitching staff, and let's send Win down to AAA. We're probably going to have to, yeah, I had assumed we were going to have to designate. Where did he go? Sam Bello, there he is. And Bello will move in as a middle reliever. So we lost 7-2, second game of the year. Can we take the series against Arizona? Start the season 2-1? Or do we start 1-2? We start 2-1. We win 6-0. I think that was Denny's first start of the year. Yep, 8 innings of 3-hit shutout ball for Jim Denny. Gucher homers. Jones has 3 hits. B has 2 hits. Top of the order. First 4 hitters are doing really, really well through 3 games. And we lost Sal Stewart for 4 days, so I'm not going to mess with anything. I'm just going to, they'll find somebody to play over the next 3 days. So White and Wynn both. So White, we're just going to have to release, unfortunately, eat the $3 million. It's not what I wanted to do, but didn't have much of a choice. So we went 7-6, so we're 3-1 to kick this season off. Luke Lito 2 for 3, 2 RBIs. Ike Acker has 2 hits and a home run. Siegler has 3 hits and a home run. And Guest goes 3 2/3, gives up 5. Sullivan, but the bullpen pitches pretty well for 5 1/3 innings of 1-run baseball out of the bullpen. Game 2 at home against Philly. I guess we're doing it now. 6-0 loss, so we're 3-2 now. Can we win the series? We do. So we've won our first 2 series. We're 4-2. Federico Ramirez, 3 hits, 2 runs knocked in. Jones hits his first 2 home runs of the year. Lynn with his first big league homer. Giolito picks up his 2nd win of the season, pitching much better this time around. And we are 4-2 to get this season off to a decent start. Now we got 3 games at Cincinnati. Another win, 5-4 in 14 innings. Long game. Victor Acosta with a home run. Jones up to 8 RBIs already in 7 games. Brubaker 6 2/3. Richardson blows the save, but Bello comes in, pitches 3 shutout innings. Bullpen does a nice job. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1/3 of 3-hit, 1-run baseball for the bullpen. We are 5-2. Obviously, this could go sideways as soon as we start playing better teams, but, you beat who's in front of you, and so far we are 6-2. Another extra inning win. Fisher with his first home run of the year for him. Acosta has 3 hits and 3 runs knocked in. Denny goes 6. Richardson blows another save, but the bullpen locks it down for us. Final game against Cincinnati as we look to move to 7-2, and we do. We score 17 runs en route to a 17-6 win. Drew Jones just on fire to start this season, as is really everybody. Ike Acker, 3 for 6, 4 RBIs. Drew Jones, 3 hits, 4 runs, scored 4 runs knocked in. Estrada had 3 hits. Federico Ramirez scored 3 runs. Willie Castro, 5 for 6 with 3 runs knocked in. Ben Guest can't make it out of 4. His team gives him 17 runs, and he can't make it through 4 innings. Luke Lito getting some run in this one. So Ben Guest is somebody that I've been thinking about trading, even with all the injuries. The issue is who do we replace him with? We don't have a ton of depth in our minor league system. I mean, Kevin Compton is probably that guy, but he's just not ready yet. And there's really not much else that's ready to go. So if we move him, the question becomes, who gets that starting role? And really, right now, I don't know that there's an answer, because none of these guys are really. I mean, I guess maybe we could give Joe Sullivan a shot. He's decent, good movement. His stuff obviously would drop when we make him a starter. 3 good pitches. He's a ground ball pitcher. But that's really it. I mean, Haas isn't a starter. He only has 2 pitches. Peoples isn't a starter. He only has 2 pitches. So that would really be it, I guess. It would be Sullivan. Hopefully we don't suffer any major injuries. Let's keep going. So we got 3 games at home against Atlanta, and we lose. All right, so we lose that one. Drops us to 7-3 to start the season. We lose Willie Castro again. He just constantly getting hurt at this point. We went 5-4 in 13 innings. Looks like a pinch hit home run from Estrada in the 5th. Ike Acker with the walk-off, his 2nd home run. He's batting .448. Bullpen again getting it done. We got to call somebody up. And I think we're going to go with Chris Ferguson. He was our first-round pick a few years back. He's not going to start. I think we're just going to stick Acosta at short. But that's why I want to get Ferguson up, because he can play like multiple positions in the infield. So we're going to get Acosta in there. Gucher will stay in as the backup, or will stay in against lefties. And we'll just continue on. So we're 8-3 to start the season. And this is what we're getting out of Willie Castro at this point. I think he'll hit well and he'll field well when he plays, but he's not going to play very often. So we just sort of have to deal with it for the next couple of seasons. Game 3 against Atlanta as we look to win another series. We don't. We lose our first series of the year. We drop to 8-4. We get a day off before 3 games at Chicago. Game 1 is an 8-5 win. So 9-4 to start the season. Stewart 2 for 4 with 4 RBIs. Drew Jones hits his 3rd home run. Jones 16 RBIs in 13 games. Jim Denny sub 2 ERA through a handful of starts. Take on the Cubs again. Another win, 6-5. So we win another series, and this one was late. We were down 4-1 going into the 7th. Scored 5 runs in the 7th and held on. Luke Lito had 4 hits. 5 more RBIs for Drew Jones. Guess again, can't even make it through 5 innings. So the bullpen has to come in and get it done, which they do. Starting to get concerned about Ben Guess. Can we sweep the Cubs? No, we lose 2-1 in 12. So 10-5, 3 games at Washington. So we win 7-0. Drew Jones, man, 369, 5 home runs, 25 runs knocked in. It's been a hot start for him. Ike Acker's hitting 469 in limited playing time. Hits another home run, his 3rd of the year. Drew Romo, 098. This is the beginning of the end for the 29-year-old Drew Romo. Yeah, Newton gets hurt, pitches an inning and 2/3, but Sullivan comes in, does a nice job. He's 4-0 already. Provolone, Bello, Peoples. Bullpen was outstanding. That's 8 1/3 shutout innings, so I will take it. Game 2 at Washington. Aaron Perry's eligible to come off the DL. We will send him on a rehab assignment. We get Parker back in 3 months. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that he doesn't get hurt, because his ratings are still pretty solid. And he's still only 27, so we'll keep our fingers crossed that we get him back healthy. Game 2 at Washington is a 7-5 loss. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. So Parker's just about done at this point, and that's okay. So let's see if we can win the series here against Washington. We're 11-6. We are 12-6. We've won all but 1 series this year. Drew Jones, 4 more RBIs, 29 knocked in 18 games for Drew Jones. Siegler has been a lifesaver. I mean, 417, 2 homers, 9 RBIs. Considering Romo's not hitting at all, that's just been great. Denny continues to pitch well. 3 at home against the Giants now. First one is a 7-3 loss. Second game, it's a 5-2 win, so we're 13-7. We're in first place. Drew Jones, 2 more RBIs, another home run. Giolito goes 6, strikes out 10, but the bullpen, again, our bullpen's been pretty good this year, I think. I haven't looked at the team stats yet, obviously, but it feels like they're pitching better. Game 3 against the Giants as we look to win that series. And we do 6-2. So, again, we've won every series except for 1 this year. Federico Ramirez has 3 hits. He's been just an on-base machine so far. B's struggling a little bit. Only 286 on the year, but that's been more than made up by some other players. Danny Fisher struggling a bit. Only 2 home runs on the year, but again, he's getting carried by other people. Newton doesn't make it through 5. He gives up no runs in 4 2/3 innings, and he gets pulled. All right. Well, here we go. 3 games against San Diego. Where are the Padres? 11-10. Padres are 11-10. Let's see if we can knock them back a little bit more. Nope, we lose 5-3 in the first game. Second game of the series is... That's our first 2-game losing streak of the year. Can we avoid the sweep? We cannot. So we go to San Diego and get our butts swept. We've lost 3 straight now and lost 4 of our last 6. We bounce back at home against Pittsburgh, though, with an 8-3 victory. Stewart has 4 RBIs, only hitting .220, but driven in 16 runs in 25 games. 2 hits, 2 runs scored for Drew Jones. Giolito improves to 3-0 on the year. Can we finish the month 16-0? 16-10, rather. We do. We win 11-3. So I think we're going to keep going. We're going to run right through May, I think. No reason not to. I'm enjoying it, and we'll be at about an hour when it's all said and done, which is kind of where I usually keep these things. Drew Jones finishes the month of April hitting .360 with 8 home runs and 36 runs knocked in 26 games. Are you serious? Wow. Ramirez and B each have 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Romo finally snapping out of his funk a little bit, 3 for 4 with home run, 3 RBIs. Newton goes 5 2/3, and we finish the month 16-10, which is far better than I anticipated. Peoples, that looks like a solid trade as he looks to be a monster. Yeah, he looks like he's going to be really good, so that looks like a pretty good trade for us. Parker is pretty much done. We talked about Ferguson. Has he gotten any? Yeah, he's 4 for 18, got a couple of home runs. Yeah, I like Chris Ferguson. He was our #1 pick. Very good defensively. And if he can hit for some pop, that will work. There, look at that. The AL batter of the month in April is Sam Wesniak. He's on pace for 75 home runs this year. His first season with Toronto, good for him. Drew Jones, batter of the month in the National League, obviously. And yeah, we finished the month 16-10. So we'll do a quick overview. You know, we'll dive into the stats at the end of May. So do I want to make any changes to? Yeah, Ben Guess has been terrible. Although he did pitch better in his last start, so there's hope. Yeah, our bullpen's been good. 3.18 ERA. Our starters have been okay. Our offense has been slightly above average. You know, we're not hitting nearly as many home runs as we used to, which, you know, we knew that was going to happen. How's Lynn doing? 8 for 35. So neither of my first basemen are doing all that well, but that's kind of okay. Ike Acker's been really good. I'd like to get him some more playing time. Maybe we do this. Let's try this. Every 4th game and then every 7th game. So we'll go Fisher, Ike Acker, and Lynn at first base against righties to get them each some additional playing time. And then pitching, I don't think there's anything I really need to change. Richardson has struggled as closer again, so I think maybe we're going to take him out of the closer role. And we're going to go right to Peoples. And see how he does as our closer. Different style of closer, right? He doesn't strike out a ton of batters, but, you know, can generate ground balls and stuff. So, all right, let's keep going. Let's get into the month of May. So we got 1 game against Pittsburgh, followed by 3 at Miami. Start off the month of May with a 9-4 victory. It's 17-10 now. Chris B, 3 hits. Ike Acker, his first start at first base, goes 2 for 4 with a home run and 5 runs knocked in. The late bloomer getting it done for us. Brubaker picks up his first win of the season. All right, keep going. First game in Miami. 5-4 loss. Game 2. It's a 2-0 win, so we bounce back nicely with a solid pitching performance by Ben Guess. There we go. Let's go. Guess goes 5 2/3 shutout, and then Richardson goes an inning and a third shutout, striking out 3. Perfect. That was perfect. Game 3. Can we win the series? Just keep winning series. That's all we want to do. Keep winning series. No, we lose the series. If you keep winning series, you'll be in good shape. First game at home against the Cardinals is a 3-2 win in 13. So up and down, win, loss, win, loss, win. But, you know, we're on the right side of wins so far. Drew Jones, 2 more hits, another RBI. B, 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Stewart drives in a couple. Romo has 3 hits. Newton pitches really well. Peoples blows this. I don't know what it is about the closer position in Colorado, man. But the minute you put somebody in as a closer, things just go sideways for them. I don't get it. Another win, 7-5 this time. Acosta has 3 more hits. Man, he has been fantastic for us. We got him locked up, what, through next year, I think? Oh, they just didn't offer him a contract. He's ARB eligible. Are you kidding? Wonderful. Okay. Ramirez has 2 more hits, batting almost 400. As many walks as strikeouts. Man, he's been good too. And he was a Rule 5 pick. Can we get the sweep over the Cardinals? Wow, 16-2. Offense came to play today. Ramirez, 3 for 6, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. Acosta drove in 2. B, 3 more hits, got that average up to 300. Drew Jones up to 43 RBIs already. We've played 33 games. 2 hits, 4 RBIs for Ike Acker, who just continues to mash. Drew Romo goes 5 for 5. So the talk of his demise may be premature. Denny improves to 4-1. First game in Oklahoma City is our 4th straight win. 10-8 in extras. We get 3 hits from Lido, 2 for Acosta, 3 for B. I feel like I'm just repeating myself. 351 batting average for Drew Jones. Ferguson homers, Acosta homers, Fisher homers. Guest pitches 6, gives up 4, strikes out 10. It's a better start, though. I mean, gave up 3 home runs, but only 4 hits. He didn't walk anybody, struck out 10, so that works. Can we pick up our 5th straight? 12-4. 3 straight games of double-digit runs by our offense. So, reports of our offense's demise has been greatly exaggerated. Lynn comes in, goes 2 for 5 with 6 runs knocked in. Goocher homers, B homers. I love seeing all the different players hitting home runs for us. It's great to see. And that withstands Luke Lito's difficult start to the season. His 745 OPS, his 85 OPS plus. Offense is getting it done. Siegler has 2 hits. He's hitting 333. Giolito improves to 4-0. We've won 5 straight, 6 out of 7, and 7 out of 9 here in the month of May. Can we sweep Oklahoma City? Yes, 6 wins in a row. Luke Lido, I talk about how he's struggling. He comes back with 3 hits. Chris B goes 4 for 4, and all of a sudden, look at that. He's gone from 288 to 340 in 5 games. Over his last 4 games, he's 13 for 19. I'd say that's pretty good. Sal Stewart only hitting 209. That average is a little light for my liking, but the power's there. He's got 6 home runs. Newton pitches well. Peoples gets another save. And we get a day off. And then we got the Dodgers. Are the Dodgers bad again this year? Let's look. 14-22. I'd say so. They got Mookie Betts batting leadoff. Now 38-year-old Mookie Betts batting leadoff. Jose Ramirez. Ooh, we got away from that at the right time. Buck 44. That's not a good team right now, guys. And that's great for us. Can we continue our winning streak? 6 in a row. 7 in a row. Lido and Acosta each have 2 hits. B has 2 more hits. Stewart with another home run. Brubaker picks up 2 hits to help his own cause. He goes 5 1/3. Bullpen is really good again. We are now looking for 8 in a row. Can we get it? 9-4. So we've won 8 games in a row. Drew Jones has 48 RBIs in 38 games. Fisher and Stewart each have 2 hits. That's nice to see. I'd like to see those averages climb a bit. B has 2 more hits. Romo knocks in 3. Denny picks up his 5th win of the year. Sullivan, 3 shutout innings, 3 perfect innings for Sullivan to pick up the save. And we are now looking for win number 9 in a row. We get it. 9 wins in a row, 10 of our last 11. We are just on fire. And then that's Fisher, 3 for 4, 5 RBIs for Fisher. He homers twice. Jones homers, Romo homers. He's come out of nowhere. I mean, his numbers still aren't great, but he's bounced back after just an absolutely atrocious April, where he hit 162. He's at 356 so far in May. Jones, 2 more hits. Guess picks up the win. There we go. Ben Guess has settled down nicely here over the last handful of starts. So we're looking for double digits here. If we can beat the Mets, that'll be 10 in a row. We get it. 10 wins in a row for the Rockies here in the month of May. Ramirez, 3 hits. Lynn drives in a run. Stewart has 2 more hits. Giolito homers along with Lito. And Giolito improves to 5-0, striking out 11 in 5 1/3. Can we make it 11 in a row? We do. This is absolutely insane. Victor Acosta has 2 hits. B drives in 2. Jones hits the 50 RBI mark in 39 games. Ike Acker has a couple hits and an RBI. He's not very good defensively, but it's first base, so I don't care. Newton is 3-1. And we go for a dozen straight if we can win here on Saturday. We do. 11-4. Wow. Just wow. Everybody in our lineup with at least 1 hit, except for Drew Jones, of course. Brubaker has 2 hits and an RBI to help his own cause. Romo with 2 more hits. Ramirez with 3 more hits. B with 2 more hits. Brubaker doesn't get the win, though. He can't make it through 5. Sullivan comes in. He hawks the win. We get Earl out of there in less than an inning. 8 runs and 7 hits in 1/3 of an inning for him. And we look for a baker's dozen with a win over the Brewers here today on Sunday. Yep, 13 straight wins for the Colorado Rockies. Ferguson comes in, goes 3 for 5, has 2 RBIs. Denny's hitting 320 on the year. We get 2 hits from Acosta, 2 more from B. Denny goes to 6-1. And we win our 14th straight game. We have a player who, and we're not going to mess with anything. So let's look at the box score first. Ramirez, 2 hits. He's got his average up to 394. Ferguson has 2 more hits. B has 2 more hits. Jones has 2 more hits. Ben Guess with 2 more hits. Guess improves to 3-1. That ERA drops down to 6.14. At a 10.53 ERA in April, down to 2.59 in May. So what do we do with Perry? No, that's not what I wanted to do. I think what I have to do is send somebody down, call him up, and then send him... Oh, he's hurt again. Good. I mean, not good, but you know what I mean. All right, so let's get back into our schedule and see what happens here against Milwaukee in the final game of the 3-game series. We finally lose a game. We win 14 straight games before we finally lose a game 2-0. So we lose Acosta for a week, so that's fine. And we get Arizona for 3. We lose again. We lose Gucher this time for 5 weeks. That one hurts a little bit more. I think we're going to call up David Fletcher. So we've lost 2 in a row after winning 14 straight. It's okay, though. Just win the series. Win the next 2. There we go. We win 6-3. So that's 3 straight days with injuries, though. That's a bit of a concern. Jones, 2 for 3, 3 RBIs. He homers twice. Sal Stewart homers. B with 3 more hits. Brubaker picks up the win. Bullpen was perfect. Final game against Arizona coming up here. Can we win the series? Nope, we lose. So Fletcher goes out right away. So we're suffering a crap ton of injuries here. And our trainer is, you know, he's the guy. So, I mean, I guess let's call up Mathis because he's on the 40-man, but yeah, so we've lost 3 out of 4 here as we approach the end of the month. Not ideal, but, you know, 14-game winning streak sort of eases that stress a little bit. Let's see if we can bounce back here against Philadelphia. No, I don't want him. Let's see how game 1 goes. Let's stop this streak here a little bit. We win 4-3. Chris B, 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Guest pitches well again, 3 unearned runs. Game 2 at Philadelphia is another loss, so that's 2-4 in our last 6. Can we win the series? 2-5. There we go. So a bit of a rough stretch down the last week or so of the month, and that's kind of out of the park for you, right? We win 14 games in a row, and then things kind of fall apart at that point. Fisher, Ferguson, and Jones all homer. Ferguson's making it very hard for us to send him down. A 902 OPS, playing good defense, got some power that we're lacking, so it's making it very hard for us to send him down. So let's just see how the rest of the month goes. Another loss. Can we win the series? No. So that, I mean, that's frustrating, man. I mean, we're 19-9, which is great. I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, complain about it. But we're 3-7 in our last 10 after winning 14 games in a row. No, can we finish the month strong, please? Can we at least win this game against Atlanta? Nope, we lose. So we win 14 games in a row, and we still finish the month 19-10. I mean, I guess that's out of the park in a nutshell, right? All right, so Sullivan gets better. Richardson gets a little better. Gucher gets better, but he's hurt. Jones is better. Satterfield continues to get better. Just need that control. If that control ends up at a 50, and he ends up at it with 88 stuff and 53 movement, he's going to be just fine. All right, so we are in first place. Let's take a look at the standings. So we're going to ignore that last week and a half ever happened. Oh, we're tied for first place. So we're tied for first place with San Diego. We're 35-20. We don't have the best record in the American League. We are second, or in the National League rather. We are behind Atlanta. B is second in the league in hitting. Jones is first by a wide margin in RBIs. Jones is third in WAR. Denny is tied for second in wins. Giolito's second in strikeouts. Denny's first in WAR. All right, so let's dive in. So from a WAR perspective, Denny 6-3 in 11 starts, 4.16 ERA. That ERA is skyrocketed over the month of May. That wasn't good, but yeah, all of our starters really have ERAs of over 4. That's not great. I suspect they'll be okay when it's all said and done, but yeah, that's not great. Sullivan has been fantastic. You know, he'll be the first one to move into a starter's role if we need to. And our bullpen has actually been okay this year. You know, I mean, considering where we were last year, I will take what we're getting out of it this year. No horrific blown saves, and the numbers all look pretty reasonable across the board. So, pretty good job from our pitching staff. I'm really excited about our lineup. I'm really excited about the way things are going with our offense. We talked about Jones. B's right where we expect him to be with a 340 batting average, close to a 900 OPS. Victor Acosta's done a great job for us. 823 OPS, playing great defense. Federico Ramirez. Average has slipped a bit, but still 14 doubles, hitting 335 as a rookie. Ike Acker was absolutely on fire in April, still hitting 385. Lito's been struggling. He is still getting on base at nearly a 38% clip, but he's struggling with that average, so hopefully that increases. Ferguson has come in and provided some pop. Jackson Lynn and Danny Fisher, I mean, they've combined for 11 home runs and 39 RBIs at first base, so I can't really complain. They're producing. Siegler's been really good for us as a backup. Sal Stewart, there's power, but there's no average, which is a little weird. I think ultimately he'll be fine, but that's just a little strange to look at right now. Romo at 214 and Estrada coming in at $180. Look at our pipeline. Real, how's he doing so far this year? Okay, an A-ball, couple of wins in 5 starts. Gucher is hurt, but he's been pretty good for us as well. Well, actually, he hasn't. 64 OPS plus. He hasn't been good at all with the bat. So, yeah, we don't have a ton of... I mean, Andy Powers is going to be a really, really good contact hitter. God, he's 8 for 13. He doesn't belong... He belongs in AAA. Yeah, he'll probably be up next season, and we'll just have to figure out where to put him. I mean, those are probably left field ratings, but I mean, with that contact, we got to find a place to house him. So, yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. So I think offensively we're okay. I think if we're gonna make a move here in June and July, it's gonna be for starting pitching. But that'll be for next time. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you think I should make any moves to the lineup. If I should look to move on from some of these starters, just let me know. And yeah, I'll have another video. I'm going to post get another video posted on Sunday, since I won't be doing a live stream. It's going to be a couple weeks before I live stream. So keep an eye out for that. Excuse me. And I will talk to everybody soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.